If you feel you burn out of this PhD, all the tasks that you have, all this 24/7 job that you're doing in lab, behind the computer, whatever, and you cannot get out of that zone, this video is for you. I was all alone throughout my PhD life, and I didn't understand why actually I cannot get out of some states, but at some point I realized the small different things that I've added to my life is helping me massively to get out of burnout, being overwhelmed. So that's why I would like this video sharing my personal experiences help you massively, and hopefully it can get you out of that burnout anytime you remember these three things that helped me myself. So the first thing you need to do is just sudden pause. Anytime you felt that you've had enough, you need to suddenly just make a day off or some weekend, just not anymore work or looking at the related things to your PhD. Because just this pause on its own give you a reset. It is so positive because we need to be away from the fact that connect negativity to the nature of the PhD that we are doing. So if you can give yourself the chance to pause and actually go back and connect with yourself, actually take a well-deserved break. Maybe it could be a massage, it could be just going out to a hike or nature, just sitting with yourself in the nature, in the silence, away from anything in the social media or whatever, it can help you massively. Because this reset reminds you that actually what matters is you, and you have decided to go through PhD journey, and you know that PhD on its own is challenging. So these sudden pause help you to connect with yourself, and you know that you have a life beyond PhD, definitely. So this on its own can actually sometimes give you the feeling that you miss to go back to the lab. These pauses can be creative as well. Maybe you just need a sudden pause from any lab work and sit and focus on the writing. So this can be considered as a pause because shifting your focus can give your nervous system a break from all the things that you've been doing throughout these months, and now you're doing something else. So this variety is one of the needs that we have, and you need to consider it seriously. The second thing that can keep you in the burnout zone is continuously comparing yourself with others. Do not compare yourself with others. Others maybe have already had the skills when they came and started their PhD. Maybe actually they are not going through the challenges that is in the nature of your topic. So that's why you shouldn't really compare yourself generally in life with anyone else, because your path is unique to yourself. But don't get me wrong, you need to get inspired with others. I remember the time that I looked at a person whose path was actually super facilitated in comparison to mine, who didn't have another guide aside from the supervisor, or it was really a lonely journey throughout the PhD. But that person had already came with all the tools she needed for her PhD, and also the guides that she could have in that area, as it wasn't an unconventional path like mine. So I knew that I shouldn't compare myself with that person, but I was inspired by all the efforts that she was putting behind her work for her publications, how she was really focused on just writing the paper and publishing. So I was really getting inspired and keeping it in my head that anytime I get to that stage, I really can go through this like her. But what you need to compare yourself with is yourself. So if yesterday you worked, for example, with not much of motivation, and today you were really motivated, you can be so proud of yourself. Again, don't get me wrong, if the day after you're not that much motivated, maybe there are something else that you've done that day, and you can be really happy about that. And even in that state, you can just really sit with yourself and see what didn't serve you well this day, that you didn't feel motivated, and it gives you a deep understanding of yourself. Now you really need to be proud of yourself. And the third thing that helps you to be out of burnout zone is following the best practices, but at the same time, garnish it as you enjoy. What I mean is, always go through the day-to-day tasks and jobs that you have, but design it in the way that you really enjoy doing that thing. What I mean is, throughout this day-to-day task that you have, you can really design it as you wish. Maybe you cannot change the way that you are doing something, but you always can decide what plants you can plant next to this way. Do you get the point? For example, when you are writing your thesis, maybe you enjoy listening to music, or maybe when you are going to the lab to wash your equipment, maybe you enjoy listening to the podcast or your audiobook. So these are the things that really help you to enjoy what you are doing instead of being burnout or think that you have to do it. You will say that you get to do it. So these three things can really help you massively. It seems really simple and easy, but these are super effective, super joyous. So try to give yourself sudden pauses that you need. Not too long, of course, they are vacations, but these sudden pauses can really make wonder to your path. And the second thing is not comparing yourself with others. And the third one is designing it as you wish while following the standard practices. I hope you enjoyed this one. The next video is about how to get really crazy about your PhD in the way that no one can understand how you are doing all these things. This is time to level up, my friend. See you in the next video.